Hey everyone, Kelly Laverty coming to you on another Movement Monday. And if you don't know me yet, I am a board certified dance movement therapist. I have been in the somatic field and mental health field for over 20 years. I help women shift their relationship with their body and nervous system and their stress response and shift that to create some body safety, body trust, and hopefully body freedom from their trauma, their eating disorders, their just experience of anxiety overwhelming them and keeping them stuck. So if that sounds like you and you want to hear more, I would love to share a little bit more about my offerings and my services. I have an online dance movement therapy program called Be With Body Experience, as well as I work with people virtually as well as in person with one-on-one dance movement therapy. And I also have a class each week, intuitive movement, so that you can learn how to get into the body and out of your head, and how movement is that bridge for making change in your life. And so I come here every Monday to talk to you guys and give you some inspiration and a theme on what kind of movement you can practice or pay attention to this week. So along that lines of stress and body safety, I want you to explore this week noticing the spectrum, noticing what happens in your body when you are stressed, and that is a natural physiological survival response. We cannot control it. We're gonna have stress come at us from the world and our body is gonna respond, right? That is how we live. That is important. We don't wanna get rid of that response, okay? So all of these people out there are saying, let's calm the nervous system. Our nervous system needs to be active and needs to be aware, right? What we wanna do is repattern it so that it's not so sensitive, or it's not going on auto drive and kind of haywire alarms all the time, and that's when we feel really overwhelmed, right? But if your life is super stressful, you're gonna have all this coming at you, and it is normal and natural that your stress response is active. The thing is, we don't know how to switch it off and find safety in this world, because the stressors today aren't really dangerous in the same way that back when there were lions and tigers chasing us, that kind of life and death danger is not as common today. Now, some of you out there might have experience of physical trauma, sexual trauma, something that is intense and life or death. And that has created this response in your body that is so hard to shift out of, because you're looking around for when that is gonna happen next and you don't feel safe. And if that is you, if you are not in a safe space, a safe relationship right now, that is a different story. But for those of you that are in our normal day-to-day stressors of notifications on your phone coming every other minute, of just being go, 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 24/7 lifestyle where we're always on and we don't follow the sun with our wake and sleep cycle. We don't allow ourselves to take time to eat and be enjoying and taking time and space for downtime or rest. We don't play anymore. We don't really focus on community and connection anymore. So these things are what help our body feel safe. And we need to really encourage them more in our life so that we can have that body experience of safety. We can't just tell ourselves we're safe, we have a food, like roof over our head, we have food, we have these things. We need to experience it, and that comes from shifting out of our active stress state and coming into more of a rest state. The only time we get to rest is when our body can feel safe. Okay, so we need to find ways of soothing, and that's what I want you to notice this week. We can't soothe ourselves without first identifying your stress and your stress response. So I want you to pay attention. I want you to maybe write it down, comment below. What things trigger your stress response? What makes you feel on edge? What make you want to fight or flight, right? Give you that energy. And so often though we are in that mode, we don't even realize we're in a go, go, go mode, that anxiety starts going and your state is just there constantly. So it might not even feel like you have the energy. You're probably exhausted and your stress state is going and you don't know how to turn that off, right? And so what patterns we've developed is to get to that place and then we just crash. Our body goes into shutdown mode, which is like the emergency system. We have no other way because emergency shut off valve, and that's what shutdown mode is. So we do need to be able to identify the active energy that our stress is giving us, and how do we discharge that? How do we move through? We have to identify it, and we have to find some ways of feeling the stress, letting it move. Letting yourself do breathing. If you are finding me on YouTube, I have a state shifting exercise here where you can go listen, and it helps you go from that somatic breathing, or sympathetic nervous system breathing that's really revved up in a state of stress, and help you kind of get to a place where the body's like, oh, I can calm that down. I can take a longer inhale. Take a longer exhale, right? We're gonna move to that, okay? But how do I do that if I'm not even noticing? If I'm just tired and don't wanna move and I don't even notice? One way is just to start to go into noticing that there's certain patterns you have when you're stressed. And maybe notice today, we're just gonna focus on direction. What kind of direction do you go in when you're stressed? Are you kind of all forward and go, go, go? Are you closing in because it's too overwhelming and you want to shut down? Are you kind of like turning away, that flight, like I just want to avoid, I don't want to be here? Whatever direction you notice is your mode, I want you to play with. If you're that go, 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 start just going in different ways. Go fast, go slow, right? If you're the shutdown, kind of like go inward type of person, meet yourself there and notice what it feels like to be there and what it feels like to start to open up. Right? And if you're someone that's more like kind of distracted and not even in your body, kind of wanting to avoid what you're feeling, start to notice, use your sense of sight, of awareness to start to notice rather than avoid. Notice what's around you, notice what you're feeling. Gently start to bring yourself back to noticing what's in your body, noticing how you feel there, notice your feet on the ground, right? We're shifting from where we're at in the stress and noticing the spectrum that we can come on and how we bring ourselves to the other movement quality that matches that. That's the flip side, right? We're not just going to jump to the opposite. I want you to find the path to the other end. So when we're in stress, what is the path to safety? There's a lot more things we can play with. I'd love to have your comments below, and I'd love for you to join me in an open house next week where I'm going to go into a little bit more of this. I'm going to give you a couple movement practices that help with direction, help exploring some different directions that might really help you make shifts in your life. And I'm going to share more about my services and anything that you have questions about. It's an open house Zoom for you to come on virtually and just ask, what is dance movement therapy? Or ask, what is your program about? How would it benefit me if I came in? How long is it? Do I have to sign up for 4 months, or could I do 2 months, 8 weeks? My program is broken down into a couple different options. So if you're just really wanting to be able to find body safety, body trust, that's where we start. If you're like, I want to go into change and exploration and expression and I'm ready to go, that is the next stage. So we'll talk about that. I'd love to have you there. Comment below if you'd like the link to register, or DM me to get the link, and I will see you then. But this week, explore that pathway between stress in your body and safety. What things make you feel safe, what things help you to transition, and moving through different directions might do that, right? Safety is not always about not feeling all just calm and soft and soothing. Safety is recognizing I can handle these tough emotions. I can be here and I'm not going to, my body doesn't have to freak out over it. I can actually acknowledge sadness. I could actually acknowledge tiredness, anger, frustration, and I can be safe with that. I'm allowed to have these feelings. All right? So maybe you can make space for those feelings so that you can create safety around that. See you next time.